Welcome into Texans Today, presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Jeremy Chuggs, and coming up on today's show, another award-winning mailbag section. What award, you might ask? It's from my mom. It's her favorite segment. She likes hearing from all of you. So make sure to get your questions in if you are watching this live, hashtag Texans or Super Chat. Reminder, all the questions are actually from our live show that we filmed on August 26th. So if you're watching this at a later date, reminder, we go live on Wednesdays here at Texans Today, so don't miss out. Make sure that you join our mailbags, and I actually think that we might end up start going live a little bit later on Wednesdays. Let me know if that's something that would interest y'all, because I did hear from my good friend Alberto Serrato that he just got off of work. So maybe we do that in the future, maybe. But all the questions, like I said, are from our loyal subscribers who tuned in to our live show. All right, let's first go to this question coming in from Dells Bells. Hashtag Texans, will Jaylin Noel take a major step this season? I bet you're probably hoping that Tank Dell takes a major step this season. I would really love for that to happen, right? And I think he kind of needs to, right? Jaylin Noel only played in around 25% of the snaps his rookie year. Definitely wanted to be someone who could, take a step forward this year, but I think that's kind of accelerated with the fact of his running mate from college, who's also his teammate here with the Houston Texans, Jayden Higgins. He's out for the year. Torn ACL, will not be able to play for the Houston Texans in 2026. So that puts more of an emphasis on some of these other guys, right? The Texans, they obviously traded for Kayshon Boutte, but, Xavier Hutchinson, he's going to have a bigger role. Jaylin Noel as well. So I'll be looking at those guys to take a step forward this year and really be able to fill that gap left by Jayden Higgins, because, they were expecting a lot from Higgins, right? Like, they wanted him to be the wide receiver too. And I thought he was going to have upwards of 800, maybe 900 yards. So that's a lot of production that needs to be filled by this Texans wide receiver room. Who's going to step up? The hope is it's a young guy like Jaylin Noel, because a lot of the other guys on this Texans team, they're going to be gone next year, right? Like Kayshon Boutte, he's on the final year of his deal. The Texans just traded for him, but he is a free agent after this year. Xavier Hutchinson is a free agent after this year. Even Tank Dell. Tank Dell is going to be a free agent after this year. So if somebody like Jaylin Noel can step up, that'll be huge for this Texans team. My question to you is, who's the Texans' best second-year player? I thought it was going to be Jayden Higgins. Is it Jaylin Noel? Is it Ariante Ursery? Is it? I don't know. I think my answer might be Woody Marks. I think Woody Marks might be the best second-year man, and I know you're probably saying, well, he's second fiddle to David Montgomery. I think by the end of the year, it's more going to be like 1A, 1B, and maybe Woody Marks is the 1A, right? Like, I think David Montgomery is a really good back. I think he's going to have a huge role for this Texans squad and be a great player for this Texans team. I just really believe in Woody Marks. I think he's going to be a fantastic player. I hope none of my friends are watching this who I'm on a fantasy football league with. I'm probably going to be taking Woody Marks in the middle to late rounds, because I think he's going to step up and have a big part in the Texans offense, especially in the receiving game. I think him being a good receiver of the football out of the backfield or receiving back, that's going to play well into this offense, especially the fact that they need more receiving help with Jayden Higgins gone. Let's go to Mellow Mike. Hashtag Texans, with Edwards and Logan Hall, do the Texans need a defensive end for? We already have deep at DT with those two. And yeah, they both kind of can spread out and play defensive end as well. Very similar to what Danico Autry did last season with the Houston Texans. So I like your line of thinking here, Mellow Mike. I think that makes a lot of sense for the Houston Texans. I do think they're going to keep 4 defensive ends. I think, obviously, you have the top 3. You have Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, Jadeveon Clowney. Those are no-brainers. I think they're going to keep a 4th guy. I think it's either going to be Solomon Byrd, Dominic Robinson, possibly, but Dominic Robinson is currently injured right now on this Texans team. I think they're going to keep 4. And honestly, I think it comes down to Solomon Byrd, right? Like, I think, Ali Gay got hurt at practice, that joint practice up against the Panthers, so I think he's not really going to have a chance to be that 4th guy. They also signed Derek Parrish, the former U of H alum, so I think, I don't think that he'll have a chance necessarily, being in that he signed in the final week of the preseason. But I definitely look at Solomon Byrd to be somebody who the Texans keep on this roster. Before we get into more of y'all's questions, make sure to go check out the sponsor of today's program, our friends over at Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app, for good reason. I love Prize Picks. Producer Brian loves Prize Picks, and so should you. It is the place to go if you love winning cash and watching sports. It is both of those all wrapped up into one amazing app that is super user-friendly, super simple. It's available in most of the United States, including California, Texas, and Florida. And you can also follow me on the app. All you got to do is go to the social feeds feature, Jeremy_Chugs, and you can copy all of my lineups. This is one lineup that I'm running. It's a season-long lineup. 4-pick power play, $15 to pay $150. I'm going Trevor Lawrence, the less on his rush yards. Then I'm going Stroud, more on his passing touchdowns. Montgomery, more on his rush yards. And Will Anderson, the more on his sacks. You can copy my lineup or go ahead and make your own. Just do it with our friends over at Prize Picks. Play your first $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. Just use code HMA when you sign up. That's right, Prize Picks. They just switched up their offer, so there's no better time to join, lock in, and win that first lineup. That's code HMA at sign up to get $150 in bonus lineups if you win your first $5 lineup. Shout out to our friends over at Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. Texans Tony, #Texans, best Texans player to draft in fantasy football. That's a good question. I'll probably go. I mean, in the first round, you probably have to go Nico Collins, especially with Jayden Higgins being out. I think Nico Collins is going to get force-fed the football. The only issue with him is a little bit of an injury concern, right? Like, I think, he hasn't played a full 17-game schedule since joining the NFL. So that's a little bit of a worry right there. But I think if you're pinpointing one player, honestly, at the end of the draft might be the Texans defense. So I'd probably go Nico Collins, though, as the guy that you should definitely draft on this Texans squad. What do you say, though? Are you drafting any players on this Texans team for your fantasy football team? Let me know down below in the comments section. What players are you looking to draft for your fantasy football team from this Houston Texans squad? Let's go to Urias. What is the plan for the log-jammed backfield? For the Texans running back room, I mean, you have the top two guys easy, David Montgomery and Woody Marks. Behind them, honestly, no clue. Like, Jawar Jordan, he's been out for a little bit with a hip flexor injury, so that's worrisome. You have British Brooks. He had a broken hand for a better part of the training camp preseason period. Worrisome. Noah Whittington, UDFA, who also got injured in that second game up against the Raiders, had an ankle injury. Also worrisome. And you signed Deuce Vaughn and Owen Wright, but those aren't guys that really, give me a lot of confidence. So, yeah, I don't know what the plan necessarily is. Are they going to, sign somebody in free agency? They're going to have to come up with a plan and come up with that very soon to, make sure there's depth in this Texans running back room. Andrew Robles, #Texans, who do you think our starting five for the O-line will be with first team and second adjustments and also injuries happening? I think it's solidified right now that the Texans offensive line will more than likely be Ariante Ursray at left tackle, Wyatt Teller at left guard, Keelan Rutledge at center, Ed Ingram at right guard, and Trent Brown at right tackle. I think this is your offensive line, especially with the injury to Braden Smith. I think, this is easily what you're going to see week one going up against the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be the starting five. In my opinion, I think the only curveball that they could throw in is that they want to move Rutledge to left guard and Evan Brown to center. That would be the only thing that I could see them doing. Before we continue on with more questions, make sure if you want to check out our brand new H-Town Rivalry t-shirts that are available, chatsports.com/H-Town Rivalry in white, red, navy, and black. Our brand new t-shirts available right now on the shop. Get them for the season. They're absolutely fire. Shout out to my guy, Arnold, for coming up with the best design in the business. All right, let's go to a couple of these. We'll go to this one, and then we'll go to a couple of the Super Chat questions. Let's not forget to hit those as well. James Gibson, #Texans, Boutte will be number 2 and open up the tight ends and our running backs with the out of the backfield pass plays. I think you meant Boutte, like Kayshon Boutte will be number 2, open up the tight ends and our running backs with more passes of the backfield. Yeah, I think so. I think Kayshon Boutte will be the number 2 for this Texans squad, and he'll definitely be somebody who they will probably try to work into the starting lineup. But I do wonder how many, like, if week 1 he's going to be the guy, or if it's going to be more like week 2, week 3, week 4 when he fully gets acclimated to this Texans offense. Spaz Attack. Thoughts on Sobkowitz at the wide receiver spot? I don't think he's making the squad. I'm sorry. I don't see him making it over a couple of these other players. Good good story, good, possible practice squad player, but I just don't see Sobkowitz making this 53-man roster. Jonathan Hyatt. Over under Jared Wayne, 349.5 receiving yards. I think he makes a run for wide receiver 4 or 5. Also be cool to see you collab with Locker and Stutz. Yeah, possibly, right? Like, I think Jared Wayne, he's somebody who is, I wonder where he fits for this Texans team, right? Like, is he the wide receiver 4 or 5, or are they bringing in all these reinforcements to, kind of replace him? They signed Sterling Shepard and Zay Jones. They obviously traded for Kayshon Boutte. Where does he fit? And also, how many wide receivers do the Texans keep, right? Because they're keeping 6. Like, you have Nico Collins, Kayshon Boutte, Jaylin Noel. You have Lewis Bond, who 6th-round pick. I think he'll make the squad. You have who am I missing? Did I say Xavier Hutchinson? That's 5 right there. Then if they keep Sterling Shepard or Zay Jones or Jared, like, who are they keeping out of that? I think Jared Wayne will probably have a good chance. It's probably good news for him, the fact that he was playing with that first unit for the Texans whenever they were going up against the Raiders, whenever they had the starting offensive line out there. Yeah, I'll definitely be looking at his name whenever the Texans make that final 53-man roster cut. Alberto Serrato, what up, Chugs? Just got off work, but here's a little something so you can restock some happy dads for the season. Reminder, I'll be going live for that Carolina Panthers game, and I'll be going live for every single game this year, so don't miss a single moment. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you tune in. Turn on those notifications because we'll be live. We'll be having a party. We'll be having a great time here on Texans Today every single game day. Just Harry, #Texans, are the rivalry jerseys the best jerseys in franchise history? Give us a jersey ranking. Oh, I think they might be up there. So I'll just rank the 5 jerseys that we have right now. Just because I think going into the older jerseys before that is a little bit of a we can go down a rabbit hole. But the 5 jerseys we have right now, I think the rivalry jerseys are number 1 for me. I absolutely love them. I love how much it pisses off Titans fans as well. The fact that they're worried about our jerseys more than their actual season is actually hilarious. So I'll probably go the rivalry jerseys. This is going to be maybe a hot take. I love the all navy blue. I love the deep steel blue. I love the way all blue looks whenever we have, the blue helmet, blue jersey, blue pants, blue, like whenever it's all blue, I think that looks absolutely fresh. Then I'll probably go with the battle red, then the H-Town alternates that we had last year, and then the Space City alternates, and then probably the white jerseys. I would probably say the white jerseys are my least favorite that the Texans wear. I don't hate them, but out of all of them, I would probably say the white jerseys are the, ones that I'm like, they're okay. They're okay. Let's go to the last question on today's show from Terrence Piper. Jeremy, what's the final piece you think we need to make a run? I think we're there. I think as long as we're healthy, we'll be in a good spot. Now, I think the Texans, they're probably going to, want to keep some flexibility and, be able to make some signings if any injuries happen. The only position where I'm really kind of concerned is the running back 3. So if they maybe want to sign another running back, maybe that would, ease my worries a little bit. But in terms of the starters, in terms of this roster, I think the Texans can absolutely compete with anybody in the National Football League. I think they can. And I think the fact that the offensive line will be better, the run game will be better. I think C.J. Stroud will be better this year. I think, this team, like I said, they will be a contender. And it is AFC Championship game or bust. That is my floor for this Texans team. I think they need to make it past the divisional round in the playoffs and really prove a lot of people wrong and be able to, get to that height that I think they can, like that they are, good enough to do. So that would be my answer to that. Shout out to you, Terrence Piper. That's all I have for you on today's show, folks. Make sure to give me a follow on social media. If I didn't get to your answer, I'm sorry, but you can still hit me up at Jeremy Chugs on X, IG, or TikTok. And if you made it to the end of today's show, make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button for free Texans content all year long. We are your one-stop shop for everything going on with the Houston Texans.